So as I was mentioning that for TOEFL IBT, it is expected that each piece that we write, whether it is a sentence, whether it is a paragraph, whether it is an essay, whether it is a discussion, because this is what you will be doing for your final official assessment. So they want it to be clear, very with clarity, and they also want us to give information that is pointing at a particular critical aspect. However, there will be time that you will be dealing with long sentences, but while complex sentences show advanced grammar, overly long sentences often confuse the readers. It also reduces the coherence, and leads to grammatical mistakes. So this is why at the beginning of our journey, my suggestion to you guys is to try to concentrate on short sentences. By no means I'm not saying that you should not write long sentences, but because this is the beginning of the journey, concentrate on short sentences. But even in this lesson, I am giving you examples, and I'm asking you is to even practice your long sentences too. It will help you to let the marker examiner show that you are providing very nice, clear idea by communicating. It will also help you with your grammar. Remember, when we're writing a very long sentence, we lose track to see what should we do and what should we do. And plus, English is not our first language. I'm sure that if you do write something in Dari and Pashto, you'd be outstanding. And nobody, including me, will know as much as I know in English now. So you're expert in one, you may not be expert, though from your own work, you're all doing very well. Maintain a good pacing and coherence in your essays, and this will allow you to have a good control on the variety, that you will start with a short, and then if you need to, you will use long to have it balanced. Because if you have too many short sentences, that's also not good. If you have to agree or disagree with an opinion, and this is very commonly used. So in that case, I'm giving you an example, but I'm not going to talk about this too much because we will discuss this in much detail later on. And this is going to be one of the TOEFL IBT writing. You will have a question that's going to be asking you is, do you agree with opinion with a question or disagree? Under the agree and disagree type questions, you have to have a statement on which I agree with this statement, I disagree with this statement. So you need to state whether you agree or disagree with the following statement and explain why then you agree or disagree with this statement. So for example, if somebody asks you, do you agree with banning of education for girls in Afghanistan? So you're entitled to your opinion. Nobody's going to say, no, you all have to disagree. But with that statement, you will have to give reason. So if you're going to say, I agree, then you'll have to provide the reason why. And if you're going to say, I disagree with the banning, and then you'll have to give a reason. And they don't want you to write an essay short, because this is simply asking agree, disagree, and maximum you might be prompted to give 2 to 3 reasons. Do you agree or disagree that corporate companies have a positive impact on society? These are examples. But most probably in future, we will use them to write essays. So if you are preparing, it would be good to prepare on an essay for this, because this is all about your opinion and general, and I'm sure that you read a lot and you have observations and opinions that you could easily write a nice essay on this. Let's look at this as an example. Although some people believe technology isolates individuals, which can lead to a decrease in social interactions and eventually cause loneliness, I think it provides more opportunities for communication. So in my opinion, that is wrong. It's too long. Just goes round and round. And look at the same, slightly shorter. Some people believe technology isolates individuals, full stop. This can reduce social interactions and cause loneliness, full stop. However, I think it provides more opportunities for communication. Exactly the same. But the sentences is not just going and continuing. And this is the problem that us, that English is not our first language, fall into the trap and have problem. So for this I was saying, and we have decided to explore this further. So on the next slide, it's going into some advantages of the writing short sentence. Like I mentioned, clarity, because it's very easy for the reader to understand the main idea. It also reduces the grammar mistakes. Fewer clauses mean fewer opportunities for verb, tense, punctuation errors. It will also have a stronger impact because the short sentence is going to emphasize the key points. It also helps us with our time management. Remember that you will have to time yourself with your writing. And that is when the panic starts. Because we look at it, oh, we don't have enough time, and then we just write and blah, 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 and we don't get time to check. And the mistakes that's going to be causing is going to be the punctuation, because we just go in circle and we write things that there's no need for it. So preparation is very important for you guys. And last one is improved coherence. It also helps you with flow, because your sentences should lead to the next one, and your paragraph one should lead, end of your paragraph one, you should be leading the reader into paragraph two. And in paragraph two, you should be leading the reader into paragraph three. If you're having 3 paragraphs. If you're having 4, then you need to be doing this. And at the beginning, then your introduction should be telling the reader that this essay is talking about what topic, and that how many points you're going to be discussing. And then you go for your conclusion and you do your wrapping up. So I've got some practice activities. So in this one, I'm giving you a long sentence. Take the one long sentence and split it into 2 or 3 shorter sentences without changing the meaning, because we can't change. If you're talking about seasons, then we're going to be talking about seasons. We are not going to go into completely a different direction. So this is the original sentence. Students who participate in group discussions tend to perform better because they can share ideas and clarify doubts during the session. So can you please have a go at making this better? And each of you might be doing it differently. In the chat box, I'm just checking if anybody is writing in the chat box. Otherwise, if you want, I can continue, and then we can come back. But otherwise, you have time. I can also write the long sentence in the chat box. If you guys are joining from your phone, it might not be that clear. Just give me the thumbs up if anybody wants me to. Okay, that's easily done. So let me copy the sentence and put it in the chat box. So the sentence is in the chat box. A student who participate in group discussion tend to perform better because they can share ideas and clarify doubts during sessions. I want you to make that one into shorter sentence, very similar to the example that I gave you in the previous slide. Have a go, please. See if you can, because it's already there. You copy it and then you just try to see if you can have it at 2 or 3 sentences. That's your option. There are 3 things anyway. I don't see anybody participating. Last week, you guys were very fast. Remember, you're going to be having a copy of the presentation, so you can practice. Oh, good. Student to participate in discussion, 2 coming. Well done. Even if I get 1 or 2, that's...
Hello, miss. I hope you'll be
Yes.
fine.
Thank you.
Sorry, I just encountered with some network issues. And because of that, I also don't have the screen. Could you please tell me what should we write about?
I put down the sentence in the chat box. Do you have access to the chat box?
Yeah, I can see, but I can see your message.
So what I did was the sentence that is in my presentation, I put it in the chat box. What I am asking is, it's a long sentence, turn it into short.
Okay.
It's as if you are in the. I love cooking, so I normally change my examples to cooking. So if you're in the kitchen and what you're going to do would make something short, so you get your knife and you chop it. Yeah. So that's what I'm asking. Long sentence, chop it into shorter parts. I can see that Satari has done it. Let me see. Group work is better than... I like it. Students who participate in group discussions tend to perform better because they share ideas. Well done. And Prenion says the student in the group discussion perform better by sharing ideas and clarify doubts. And اسمه ZR, students who participate in group discussions tend to perform better. So it's done it as two comments with using a comma. Good job. Saeed Ahmadi, student who participate in group discussion. Well done, you're all doing well. Excellent. You've got the message, and there's, if I was going to do it, I was probably going to be doing it very differently, but I'll read you. A student who participate in group discussions tend to perform better, full stop. They can share ideas, full stop. They can clarify doubts during the sessions. This is me. I'm not saying I'm right, you're wrong. We're all right. So when you get my presentation, my one will be at the bottom of the slide. And hopefully you will be able to access it. Unfortunately, I have to save this as PDF and share it with you, because as PowerPoint, there's different version, this and that. A student normally can't open my PowerPoints, but do check. And if you have it access, good. If not, you can let me know, and then in future, maybe my answers, I'll if I do some activity live and then I do have an answer, then I'll come up with how to share that one with you separately. That's not a problem for me. Let's go to the next slide. Here is a paragraph with multiple clauses, and you're asked to rewrite it using shorter, clear sentences. The city has invested in a new public transport system which are designed to reduce traffic congestion and pollution, but many residents still prefer to use private cars. That's us lazy people, which makes it difficult for the city to achieve its environmental goal. So what I'll do is I'll copy this in the chat box, and let's see how you do work with this one. There you go. It's in the chat. The last time I was in Afghanistan, it was many years ago. Traffic and pollution was out of control. I don't know how the situation is now. And if I come, I'll be too scared to drive around. Even last time I was scared. I did not want to. Even in the evening, late at night, we were told that it's okay if you want to drive. Just I was too scared if we get stopped. Female driving, but I don't know, are the females allowed to drive nowadays? They're not allowed to leave the house, so how can they be allowed to drive? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help you all. So it'd be good to have a go at this one, please. I don't see anybody typing it. Oh, good. Shala's done. And Shiva. Great. Brilliant. You see, I don't think you need me. You guys are expert. Well done. So I'll just read my sentence too. It's just a different version. The city has invested in new public transport system, full stop. They are designed to reduce traffic congestion and pollution, full stop. However, many residents still prefer to use private cars, full stop. This makes it difficult for the city to achieve its environmental goals. So basically, same, but in multiple shorter sentence. So let's go to the next slide and see what I've got for you. TOEFL IBT, writing task adaptation. Take a TOEFL independent writing prompt and write the first paragraph using shorter, clear sentence. Because I'm starting with short sentences, small paragraphs, but remember, our aim is we need to go towards writing an essay. So this is a prompt. Do you agree or disagree with the following statement? Students should be required to take physical education classes. And I am positive that all the young men and brothers in Afghanistan are enjoying this. And you need it. I'm not against it. I'm very happy at least that you have access to do physical activities. So as a short sentence, I agree that the student should take physical education classes. Physical activity improves health. It also reduces the stress. In addition, it teaches teamwork and discipline.
I'm really sorry, ma'am, for the description. We don't have your screen.
Why do I? No, my screen is there.
Now
I
it's
think,
showing, yeah.
okay, I think it's internet problem. All right, because I did not cut it. No. You don't have to apologize. You have all the right to let me know because at times, as teachers, we get so worked in, we forget about what you can see, what you cannot see. That's perfectly fine. No problem. Now, on the next slide, I'm going to tell you because by no means I'm not saying you should always write short sentence. So here I am giving you an explanation that long sentence is also needed, especially when we are writing essay. Long sentence are useful when you want to show a complex grammar control. For example, if you have to use subordinate clauses, relative clauses, transition phrases, because you need to connect the related ideas smoothly without sounding repetitive. Because if you chop it into a smaller sentence, then you'll have to repeat yourself. So avoid a choppy style when you have to use too many short sentences can sound very childish. present cause, effect, or contrast in one flow. And I think I'm giving you an example in the next slide. So let's have a look. This is the short version. Studying abroad helps the students learn a new language. It also teaches them cultural awareness. They can meet people from different backgrounds. Same content, let's look at it a better ways. Studying abroad helps the students learn a new language, teaches them cultural awareness, and allows them to meet people from different backgrounds. Because we're still talking about one team, one opinion. Now here are activities. Another activity. Write the following short sentence into one well-structured long sentence using the linking groups like and, because, although, while, which, that, etc. Any other linking word that you like to. The government built new parks, full stop. The parks have modern equipment, full stop. They attract families, full stop. I wanted to join the club. I was too busy. I could not attend the first meeting. Online classes are convenient. They save time. They require self-discipline. So do you want to have a practice of this? And I think here there are three, not just one. If I number it, whether you want to write it, join the first one and then join the second one because that's a completely different topic. And then 3 is a different topic. If you want, I will put it in the chat just to help you with writing. So you don't have to start from scratch. There you go. Unfortunately, it did not give the 1, 2, 3, but I think you can just see it. So have a go at this. It is in the chat. Copy it if you don't get time. But remember, the PowerPoint is going to be shared with you. So if you don't get participated time in class, you can easily do them again at your own time. The remaining of my slides are very similar examples, but they are your homework. So for your homework, it starts from slide 14 and it goes multiple slides. Number 1, activity 1, sentence cutting. So I've given you 2 long and I'm asking you is to cut it into shorter. Okay, so number 1, it's clear instruction. I want you to make it shorter. And I've said sentence cutting, and I've also given you an instruction underneath. That's 2 sentences in activity 1. What's in activity 2? Activity 2 is combine and shorten. Write each sentence in clear, shorter sentences. So there are 2 topics. Maybe I should put 1 and 2 on it. So then when you get the presentation, it is much easily followed. So 2 sentences again in here that you'll have to combine it into a short sentence, each one. So that's 4, if you count it. The next slide has got 2 in one slide. Do you agree or disagree with this statement? Remember, we did an example with you. University students should be required to live in dormitories. Write 3 to 4 sentences for your as a paragraph. Activity 4, Mixlin challenges. Write a paragraph about the benefits of reading books using a short sentence as your main idea. You also should be including 2 longer supporting sentences. So this is where I'm asking you. You're allowed to use longer, but they are your supporting. But your main one should be a short. And on the next one, activity 5 and 6, combine the sentence. So I've given you, and I'm asking you is to put them together, making it more meaningful. And number 6 is paragraph. Here I've given you some keywords. I'm asking you is use short and long and write a nice paragraph. And if you want to, you could even make it 2 paragraphs. But even 1 is enough for me. So just to clarify for your homework, activity 1, I've given you 2 sentences. I'm asking you is each sentence should be shorter. Activity 2, 2 sentences where I'm asking you is to combine it, shorten, but they have to be meaningful and nice and clear. Activity 3, I'm asking you is to provide, whether you agree or disagree, but write a paragraph. Activity 4 is I'm asking you is on this statement, main idea should be short, but the supporting ideas should be long. And the final slide, do combined sentences based on this idea. And the last one is I've given you some keywords. You can use more keywords. You don't have to just stay with this. But these are the main ones. And in fact, make it challenging for yourself. Try to see if you can provide me an essay for this. If you can. That brings us to the end of the session. So make sure that you complete the activities as your homework. And you're going to submit it as an email. If you want to, this one you can easily copy into the email as a content. But if you want to do it as a document, that's perfectly fine. The only other feedback that I would like you to do is if you are doing it as an attachment, and I'll write it in here. Please remember to add a file name to the document, because everybody's sending me homework. And if you want to do it based on weekly, so this can easily be week 2 homework, and then put at least your first name or your last name on the document. My email is here, you already have it, and your deadline is Friday, but you don't have to wait till Friday. Please start. If you can do it earlier, that's easier, because it is a challenging time for you guys, with electricity being a problem, with internet being a problem. Last minute when changes go wrong, you don't need to worry about it. You've done your homework. So with your permission, I'm just going to stop the recording